We got them. Let's check out Nintendo's latest line of controller button keychains. Welcome to A Game From a Box, I'm Sergio IM, and the first edition of these keychains was their NES series, which looked great, but the second one is really where it's at for me. It features buttons and sticks from the SNES, N64, and GameCube, consoles that were a huge part of my childhood, so lots of nostalgia here. These are exclusively sold at Nintendo stores in Japan via their capsule machines, where you pay and it dispenses a capsule with one of these. I'm not in Japan, so I bought a set on eBay, and that set just came in, so let's open it up. All right, so it's safely wrapped in Japanese newspaper, and this is me smelling it to see if it smells the same as American newspapers, which, yeah, it does. Then we have everything in this bubble wrap. They sadly didn't send the capsules, so it's just the keychains wrapped in plastic. And here they are. Now, a few things about these. The materials feel similar to the originals. They have that very subtle texture to them. All the details are just about perfect. We have very high quality plastics. And they're not tiny keychains, they're actually full size, but they went further by giving us authentic or genuine parts, most likely made from the same molds, and apparently they're manufactured by Bandai. So that means you can crack these open and use those pieces as replacement parts for the original controllers. You can even use custom third-party parts on here too, as this user did on Twitter. Absolutely love this. It turns what's a novelty keychain into something that actually has some use to it. Oh, and of course, we have a lanyard loop with a chain attached so you can keychain it. Now, for the N64 and GameCube, we have a set with face buttons and an analog stick, but for the SNES, they went with the face buttons for the Japanese and North American versions, so sadly, no D-pad, which I really wanted. First up in the timeline is the 1990 Super Famicon one in that gray colorway with blue, red, green, and yellow buttons. Here's how they sound. And here's how they look next to the Classic Edition controller. Next, we have the 1991 Super Nintendo version that we got in the States in that gray with two-tone purple buttons. We have that concave X and Y, and the convex A and B buttons. Here's how these sound. And here's how they look next to the Classic Edition controller. A few years later, 1993, we have the gray N64 controller. What a mind-blowing console. They released these controllers in a bunch of colors, but here we have the gray one with a green B button, blue A button, and yellow C buttons. We even have that little extruded bump down the center here. And here's how these sound. And here's how they look next to the original controller. Then we have the notorious N64 analog stick. It's so odd to feel a new one because I'm so used to all my originals being completely loose. So this one has that brand new springy resistance to it, along with that octagonal gate so you can really feel when you hit those specific positions. And here's how it sounds. And here's how it looks next to the original. Finally, we have the 2001 GameCube controller, one that to this day is still a favorite. I would have loved if they gave us triggers because that GameCube had some of my favorites. It's in the purple colorway. First, we have their face buttons in this circular layout with that iconic massive A button in the middle that's surrounded by the gray Y and X buttons. And we have the odd, tiny B button off the lower left. Here's how they sound. And here's how they look next to the original. Then, instead of going with the analog stick, they went with the unique C-stick. It's got that very unique bumpy texture that almost feels fuzzy. Same as the N64, it lives in an octagonal gate so you can lock it in at any of those positions. Here's how it sounds. And here's how it looks next to the original. So that's the second series. Absolutely love these, and I hope they expand on the line, and it'd be awesome if they made them available worldwide, maybe through their online store or something. So let me know what you think of them down in the comments, and let's talk. Once again, I'm Sergio IM. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you for the next box.
If you like this video and want to help us out, click that thumbs up button and leave a comment below so we can talk. If you want to go further, subscribe and ding the bell to stay notified whenever we post a new video. You made it to the end, and I just want you to know that you are the reason we do what we do. This is Sergio AM, and I'll see you for the next box.